Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Adsense business for sale in the gaming niche. Created in October 2017, this business makes $5,063 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 46258. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Auntie, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm very excited to discuss this business with you. I love the gaming niche, and I'm excited to take a deeper dive on this site. But before we get to the questions that I have for you, I'm going to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, it was built in October of 2017, has a monthly revenue of $5,228, expenses of $165 to make for a net profit of $5,063, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the domain and offsite content and files and PBN links. Please note that you must have a currently approved Adsense account to ensure a successful migration of this business. Auntie, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Okay, yeah. I've done paid search for like 12 years on different agencies, and now I'm in-house paid search consultant. But a few years ago, I thought I could try my luck with organic search. So I bought a blog from Flippa a few years ago and then learned the ropes of operating a site and then managed to flip it quite successfully after 2 years. With those profits, I bought this site in April last year. Or actually, I own it with a partner, which is a colleague from my day job.
So you purchased this business about a year ago then, and how has the business been doing since you purchased it?
It has been doing great, like you can see from the figures.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see, especially from November to December last year, you had significant growth, and you seem to have continued that success throughout the start of 2019 here. So that makes me wonder, why have you decided to sell the business here?
We bought it with my partner to begin it with the intention of sell it in 1 year. And now the business is doing great. So I think this is a good opportunity now.
So it was always your intention to sell it then? I mean, that makes sense. And here you are, the business is doing extremely well. Can you explain how the business makes money? What's the Adsense model for someone who's unfamiliar with it?
Probably the most simple online business model because it requires zero input after you implement the ad codes. And one main thing is you get paid fast.
And then the site is in the gaming niche. You are dealing with information on top players of a popular game. Can you explain how you get that information?
Yeah, we have an API connection to the gaming company's API, and then we fetch the data from there.
Does that require any active development or maintenance?
No maintenance or development, but you have to be ready if the gaming company does something about the API. It hasn't happened yet, but it's one of the risks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes sense here. So there's no active development, but be on call in case something comes up here. So it sounds like the business is pretty hands-off. What does it take from you, the seller, the owner of this business, to maintain it as is?
Actually, I was just counting how many hours I've been managing the site this year, and it was few hours. It was mainly about emailing about the links of the site, but that's about it. Mm-hmm. And my partner has done some backend work for a new feature, mm-hmm. but that's not mandatory at all.
So your partner was the active developer for this site then?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned emailing about links, and I said earlier that the PBN links are included in the sale. Can you explain your link building strategy and what you've done with the PBN here?
We started the PBN in last September, and after that we have been doing guest posting to below the PBN links.
What do you feel are the major opportunities for growth for someone who takes this site on with the hopes of growing it even more?
Actually, I've been thinking about the growth opportunities a lot because we bought the site to flip it in 1 year. So there's few major growth opportunities which require very little luck and just systematic work. Also, you have to remember that the site's cash flow is quite high, so you can outsource the actual work to freelancers. So the easiest way should be removing the PBN links, because you could phase those out and then increase the valuation multiple and flip it in 6 months. of course, share the amount of PBN links now so the buyer can assess the work or money needed to phase these out.
You mentioned that the PBN links could be phased out to increase the valuation and the growth of this business. If you think that's something that's worth doing, why haven't you started to do that yourself?
Because we wanted to leave something for the buyer so we could help sell the site as quickly as possible. And other growth opportunity is adding Amazon affiliate on player pages, because there are sites that track pro players, keyboard settings, and monitor resolution and things like that. And these sites are monetized with Amazon links to hardware the players are using. And our site has the most up-to-date stats of these players. So this player information, it could complement a lot.
And as you know, I'm aware this niche, this particular game is showing no signs of slowing down. So, I mean, there's definitely ample opportunity here, as you mentioned, to link to products on Amazon, using Amazon affiliate with the actual keyboards, the monitors that these pro players are using themselves to try to generate some extra revenue that way. So we've mentioned the API connection as a potential risk in case the company, decides to change their stance on that. And then also the PBN links is, of course, a risk. Do you feel like there are any other potential risks associated with this business that a new owner should be aware of?
Well, of course, dependent on Google rankings. So like many of the businesses, that's always a risk, but I can't see anything else because the game is proven to be, it's going to stay for many years.
Absolutely. Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, absolutely.
How much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
As much as the buyer would like, 3 months of email, Skype, whatever is needed.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout where potentially a percentage of the proceeds from the sale would be paid out over the next coming months rather than all at once?
Unfortunately not. I believe the deal price, unfortunately not.
So, Antti, you looked at this business a year ago and you thought it was worth buying. And now here we are. You've managed to grow the business a lot here. So if you were looking at the business now from the perspective of a potential buyer, why would you feel like it is an asset worth buying?
Well, it doesn't require maintenance at all. I think that's the most obvious way why someone should buy this business. And also that it's because it's monetized by Adsense. It's very simple to anyone to understand it. And then the traffic is very diversified geographically. So it's only 30% US traffic, but most of the other countries in top 10, they are other top tier countries. For example, UK, Germany, and France. So the traffic isn't dependent on rankings on one particular country. The beauty of the content is that it's automatically updating. So compared to a blog, it eliminates all work related to producing content, for example, keyword research or articles or managing writers. So the content also encourages a lot of repeat visits due to the fact that the information changes all the time. So theoretically, you could visit the site 6 times a day and still get new information every time.
And due to how popular this game is, people are definitely trying to have the most up-to-date information.
Yes.
And as we've already touched on, this game, this niche is very popular and doesn't show any signs to slow down. So, I mean, it definitely seems like a safe bet here. Antti, thank you very much for taking the time with me today. I really, really appreciate it.
No, thank you. No problem.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you. You'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.